Why do those who seem least concerned with fitting in end up being the most noticeable? It's a contradiction that appears to contradict accepted beliefs. From a young age, we are all instructed to seek approval, adhere to the norms, and merge with the crowd. Yet individuals who appear to disregard these norms frequently leave the most enduring impression. This encapsulates the concept of the Sigma male, an individual who doesn't adhere to the conventional path to success, but still flourishes in ways that others find hard to grasp. It doesn't involve being loud, bold, or seeking praise. It relates to being so self-confident that outside distractions diminish into obscurity. Their actions resonate more than the incessant noise of those attempting to conform, and by doing so, they earn a type of respect that cannot be cultivated or imposed. Sigma males do not desire to be the focal point like the average alpha male. They are not attempting to assert dominance or lead in a conventional manner. Yet they possess a compelling aura. There is something about their subdued confidence that demands recognition. They refuse to adhere to the social hierarchies that many feel pressured to ascend. While others vie for status, authority, or popularity, Sigma males follow a completely distinct path, one that is guided by their personal values and aspirations rather than society's transient standards of success. They do not adhere to the same regulations. In truth, they frequently redefine the rules without anyone even realizing. Initially, you may not even recognize their presence. They aren't the most boisterous in the room, the ones seeking attention, or the ones showcasing their accomplishments. In fact, they might appear entirely ordinary at first, just another face amidst the crowd. However, upon closer examination, you'll begin to notice patterns emerge. There's a distinctive quality in the way they hold themselves, the manner in which they engage with the world that differentiates them. It isn't their external strength or social standing. Those factors are often inconsequential to them. What genuinely intrigues is their unpredictability. Just when you assume you have them figured out, they will act in a wholly unexpected manner, something that takes you by surprise. They steer clear of the standard social scripts that most adhere to, and that is what renders them both captivating and, at times, potentially perilous. Their knack for navigating life without yielding to the established expectations or pressures surrounding them represents a kind of understated strength, one that few can imitate and even fewer can genuinely understand. Do not misconstrue their demeanor. They are not seeking conflict. However, provoke them, and you will swiftly comprehend why they should not be underestimated. Here are 7 attributes that distinguish these men from others. 1. They allow you to underrate them. Have you ever observed how being undervalued provides you with a peculiar sense of liberation? When individuals perceive you as merely another reserved person, they become completely unguarded. That's where Sigma males prefer to exist, not due to some elaborate scheme, but because they have grasped the significance of remaining unnoticed. People tend to be negligent around those they undervalue. They express themselves openly about their plans, disclose secrets they ought not to, and reveal their genuine motives. They may even belittle the quiet individual in the corner, unaware that he absorbs every word, comprehends every concealed implication, and sees through every pretense that they believe they are maintaining convincingly. In the professional environment, this is even more evident. While others rush to highlight their accomplishments, Sigma males keep their successes private. Colleagues assume they are merely managing to keep pace, perhaps even doubting how they still secure their positions. They openly converse about tactics and plans right in their presence, never pondering that the reserved person might know precisely what is unfolding. You'll notice they never hastily rectify these misunderstandings. When individuals speak over them in meetings or exclude them from important discussions, Sigma males simply allow events to unfold. Being perceived as less competent actually benefits them. It leads to decreased scrutiny, increased flexibility, and greater autonomy to operate without incessant interruptions. Occasionally, they'll make an offhand remark or showcase a talent that causes others to hesitate, not for the sake of boasting, but because the context necessitated it. These infrequent instances often leave individuals feeling unsettled, pondering what else they may have overlooked. There's no intricate plan involved. It's merely about understanding that staying low-key has advantages. After all, people seldom censor their language around someone they have already dismissed, and that's precisely when they divulge too much. 2. They're dangerously patient. Patience isn't solely about enduring. It concerns the manner of your waiting, and there's something disconcerting about someone who can endure longer than most deem feasible. Not the restless, anxious type of waiting, but the composed, strategic waiting that prompts others to question what is truly occurring. You've probably witnessed it without realizing. The individual who remained unfazed when provoked, who didn't hastily defend himself against untrue claims, or who didn't retaliate immediately when others sought to belittle them. Most people perceived him as weak. They were mistaken. Sigma males possess a knowledge that makes others uneasy. Time is an asset. When wielded properly, it becomes a formidable instrument. While everyone else is scrambling to act, react, or resolve matters immediately, they're engaged in an entirely different strategy. They understand that at times, the smartest choice is to simply wait for the perfect moment. It manifests in subtle manners. In negotiations, they'll allow silence to extend awkwardly until the other party yields and proposes improved conditions. In disputes, they'll permit others to exhaust themselves with theatrics while conserving their own resources. In rivalry, they'll allow competitors to deplete themselves in pursuit of quick victories. This isn't typical patience. It's the kind that can make people anxious because they can't ascertain if you're strategizing or simply truly indifferent. Most individuals find uncertainty difficult to manage. They require clarity about their current position. That's precisely what renders this tactic so potent. Patience does not equate to being passive. At times, the most formidable predators are those adept at waiting. 3. They let you think you're winning. Have you ever experienced that gratifying sensation of winning a debate, only to realize later that events unfolded just as the other individual predicted? That's not coincidental, and it's more prevalent than you might assume. Sigma males possess a unique perspective on victory and defeat. While the majority leap into arguments prepared to defend their stance, these individuals frequently go along with the flow. Sometimes they even consent to points they know are inaccurate, not due to an inability to assert themselves, but because they understand how situations typically develop. Take a typical office discussion. Everyone's becoming intense trying to show they're correct, while the Sigma merely sits there with a faint smile and states, "Perhaps you're right." His colleagues depart feeling quite positive about themselves, but 3 months later, when their method fails, they suddenly recall who proposed doing things differently. Consider team meetings, where one individual advocates a poor idea. They don't expend energy combating it, particularly if the team appears committed to it. They'll present a few minor objections, just sufficient to make it seem like they contributed. However, when things go awry, which they often do, they're frequently remembered as the one who cautioned the group. Sigma males don't take pleasure in watching others fail, but some individuals only grasp it when they experience it firsthand. This isn't about being smarter than everyone else. It's simply about selecting your moments. While others rejoice in their small achievements, these individuals maintain their focus on the larger picture. Occasionally, allowing someone else to feel as if they're winning now results in better outcomes later. The ironic part is, by the time everyone realizes what truly occurred, the entire situation has typically resolved itself. No disputes necessary, no blaming, just a quiet lesson learned. 4. They forgive easily, but forget nothing. Do you recall that person who wronged you, and everyone advised you to forgive and forget? That's where Sigma males diverge in methodology. They'll forgive far quicker than most anticipate, but forgetting, that's entirely another matter. When someone makes a mistake, you'll witness them respond with unexpected grace. No theatrical confrontations, no harboring grudges, no cold treatment. They might even catch the person off guard with how swiftly they move on from the issue. But they're not naive. They're merely strategizing for the long term. These men don't squander energy on bitterness or vengeance. They comprehend something most overlook. Holding on to anger merely hinders you. While they sincerely release the emotional weight, their mind records every tiny detail, every pattern, every warning sign, for future consideration. Someone who violated their trust may find them surprisingly congenial and approachable, but they'll perceive subtle shifts, less sensitive information shared, fewer chances for betrayal. A coworker who previously claimed their credit might discover them still amenable yet mysteriously less engaged in significant projects. A friend who gossiped about them receives courteous treatment but never learns anything personal again. Their forgiveness isn't insincere, it's pragmatic. Why destroy relationships when you can simply strengthen them? Why create adversaries when you can keep potential threats sufficiently close to monitor, yet distant enough to avert harm? There's a particular wisdom in this strategy. It maintains their circles free of drama, while assuring they never fall for the same deception twice. After all, actual power isn't rooted in revenge. It's ensuring you never have to. 5. They test people without showing it. At a cursory view, Sigma males may appear inconspicuous, yet that's an element of their approach. They possess a method of evaluating individuals without making it too evident. It's not centered on deceit or control. It's focused on comprehending and evaluating whom they are interacting with. The crucial aspect here is nuance. Sigma males pay more attention to listening than speaking. Then they converse, carefully observing others. They focus on how individuals respond in various scenarios, noticing behaviors that may indicate trustworthiness, integrity, or drive. It's not a swift undertaking. They let events unfold organically and monitor how someone acts over time, instead of hastily forming opinions based on initial encounters. During discussions, Sigma males may pose a casual inquiry to assess someone's views or stance on a topic, without it feeling like an interrogation. What truly matters is your response. They'll discern if it's authentic or simply a facade, thoughtful or dismissive. That's how they gain essential insights about someone's character and intentions without that person even realizing. Their evaluation isn't about evaluating others as pass or fail. It's a subtle assessment to determine whether those around them align with their life or if they should keep some distance. This strategy provides insights into possible allies or trustworthy individuals. Sigma males aren't concerned with categorizing people, but rather with comprehending how they might engage with them in the future. They remain vigilant about their surroundings while watching out for anyone who may not have their best interests at heart. 6. They never explain themselves too much. Regarding self-expression, less is indeed more for Sigma males. They're not prone to lengthy monologues or talking simply for the sake of speaking. In an environment where individuals frequently vie to be noticed, they distinguish themselves by communicating only what's essential. This method not only prevents unwarranted drama but also retains an aura of intrigue. They are deliberate with their words, reflecting before they speak and opting to convey only what enhances the dialogue. Sigma males do not seek to draw attention to themselves, particularly in the presence of unfamiliar individuals. Rather than attempting to blend in, they observe and listen. They're at ease with silence, often utilizing it to their advantage. While some may boast to gain recognition or validation, these men allow their achievements to speak for themselves. They favor the role of the quiet achiever, enabling others to uncover their successes according to their terms, devoid of spectacle or self-promotion. This personality type is also quite reserved, especially concerning personal matters with new acquaintances. They typically keep their thoughts and emotions private, revealing only what they feel comfortable sharing when they're prepared. They're not antisocial. They simply exercise discernment over the information they choose to disclose. Establishing trust is a gradual endeavor for them, and they are not in a hurry to share their personal narratives with individuals they've recently met. This introverted trait enables Sigma males to navigate social settings subtly, remaining unnoticed without creating disruption. It's not about concealing or being elusive. It's about recognizing the importance of discretion. By reserving their thoughts, they retain authority over their stories and shield their environments from unwarranted examination. Essentially, their quietness is tactical, not an indication of loneliness, but a careful contemplation. 7. They understand when regulations don't apply. Rules are important in society. They offer structure and assist in preserving order. However, not every rule is intended to be adhered to without question. Rules often represent the viewpoint of those who established them, and may not be applicable in all situations. This doesn't imply that Sigma males are impulsive or discourteous. They simply possess the insight to recognize circumstances where thinking outside conventional norms could be advantageous. You've likely witnessed this firsthand. While everyone else is ensnared in workplace bureaucracy, adhering to antiquated procedures, the Sigma is silently discovering a faster method to accomplish tasks. They are not the sort to declare, "I'm breaking the rules." They merely execute what is effective and proceed. Their concentration is on outcomes, not on impressing anyone by adhering to established norms. A similar scenario unfolds in their personal lives. While others experience pressure to conform to a certain lifestyle, whether it's settling down at a specific age, pursuing a conventional career, or conforming to trends, Sigma males refuse to let those societal pressures dictate their lives. They understand what is effective for them, and they possess the confidence to lead their lives accordingly, even if it appears unusual to others. What renders this approach so effective is how effortless it appears. The Sigma male does not feel the need to declare or publicize his motives. He isn't out there creating disorder or attempting to provoke conflict with authority or making a scene. In fact, he does the contrary. He navigates life with a subtle, nearly imperceptible confidence, analyzing each situation as it evolves. While others hurry to act, often in a rush or frustration, the Sigma male takes his time. He observes, considers, and then determines for himself whether a rule or expectation genuinely aligns with his values and goals. If it does, he adheres to it without doubt. However, if it doesn't, he simply circumvents it or discovers a way to navigate around it without generating unnecessary conflict. This understated defiance is anything but impulsive. It's deliberate and tactical. It's not about being defiant for the sake of defiance. The Sigma male is not concerned with attracting attention to himself or challenging authority without purpose. Rather, he possesses an intrinsic awareness of when to follow the prescribed path and when it is more advantageous to forge his own. This is where his strength resides. It lies in his capacity to make choices based on rationality, intuition, and a distinct sense of self, rather than out of a desire to conform to an established expectation. Most individuals are often unaware of what is unfolding until they observe the outcomes, typically much too late. By the moment others acknowledge that the Sigma male has silently navigated past the hurdles they've been grappling with, he's already several steps ahead. His maneuvers are so smooth that they seem effortless, even though they are anything but. It's not a matter of a flamboyant show of defiance or of trying to demonstrate something. It's about a profound, almost tacit comprehension of what functions and what fails. Sigma males understand that genuine strength isn't about defiance for the sake of being unique. It's about progressing in a way that feels instinctive to them, resulting in tangible outcomes. Those around them may believe they've adhered to the rules, but the Sigma male operates from a different handbook. One that is beneficial for him, one that corresponds with his own principles and priorities, and one that frequently finds him in a leading position, whether anyone is aware or not. By opting for his own route, irrespective of societal expectations, he sidesteps the pitfalls of uniformity, thus positioning himself for achievement. This is the subtle brilliance of the Sigma male. Not only do they successfully evade the traps that ensnare others, but they do so with such finesse that most do not even recognize they've been outmaneuvered. It's not about striving to be noticeable, but rather being aware of when to take action and when to remain quiet. Ultimately, the outcomes are self-evident, and when they manifest, everyone will realize that the Sigma male was the one quietly in charge all along.